to truly understand what ignites a woman's desire. Especially as we mature, we have to move beyond assumptions and listen closely to what her body and her silence is really saying. It's not always about intensity or performance. Often it's about attention to the overlooked details. Something as simple as a kiss placed gently on the neck can speak volumes. In fact, studies reveal that 94% of women find kisses on the neck to be incredibly arousing. This isn't just a physical reaction, it's emotional. The neck, the abdomen, the ears. These are intimate areas that, when touched with intention, awaken a woman's trust, excitement, and vulnerability. These subtle acts tell her she is seen, desired, and worth slowing down. For many men are surprised to learn that quite a number of women find Si3XT during menstruation not only acceptable, but genuinely pleasurable. While some partners tend to shy away from intimacy during this time, many women experience heightened sensitivity and deeper emotional openness. It's in these quiet moments where there's no performance, no pressure, just presence that some of the most meaningful connection can unfold. Yet it requires a man who can see beyond old tabos and meet her where she is with patience and confidence. Perhaps the most misunderstood truth is how a woman reaches climax. Only about 15 to 18% of women are able to orgasm through vaginal penetration alone. The rest require focused attention on the clitoris, a part of her anatomy that is often overlooked, yet holds the key to her pleasure. Around 80% of women achieve orgasm through clitoral stimulation, and nearly 40% the first type. She craves. The man who listens to her body's cues believes that their nipples deserve far more attention than they usually receive. These are not just statistics. They are gentle reminders that true intimacy is about learning, not assuming, listening, not leading and being fully present in each tender moment. Intimacy becomes truly unforgettable when it goes beyond routine and touches something deeper, something sensory, emotional, and almost spiritual. For many couples, especially those over 50, rediscovering this depth is not about learning new tricks, but about reawakening old instincts with intention and care. One of the most powerful ways to deepen physical and emotional connection is through sensory play. A simple blindfold, for example, might seem like a playful novelty, but it does something extraordinary. It invites trust. When sight is removed, every touch, every whisper, every breath becomes amplified. She feels more, not just physically, but emotionally, because you are guiding her through a shared experience where presence matters more than performance. Even the way you prepare for intimacy can set the tone for a more meaningful connection. Sharing a warm bath or stepping into the shower together before bed not only relaxes the body, but increases blood flow to her most sensitive areas, particularly the breasts and nipples. The water, the warmth, and your touch combine to make her feel nurtured and cherished, not just aroused. This kind of foreplay creates anticipation and builds a foundation of safety and desire. Using natural lubricants like coconut oil or even saliva when done with care and respect can dramatically enhance pleasure. The key is in the delivery. Apply it gently, warming it between your fingers first, and use it as part of the experience rather than a means to an end. Standing sixth, often underestimated, gives men greater control and can help delay climax, while also positioning the body in a way that enhances G-spot stimulation. And in contrast, the spooning position, gentle, close, and intimate, allows for emotional connection and whispers in the dark. These techniques aren't just about sensation, they are about saying without words. I'm here, understanding her sensual zones, neck, abdomen, ears, and emotional touch. See you, I want all of you. There are moments in intimacy that linger long after the lights are out, the kind of moments that live in the mind and body like a memory you can feel. For many women, it's not just the act of sixth that stays with them, but the way they were made to feel during it. The positions that become unforgettable are the ones where they felt completely seen, deeply connected, and thoroughly cherished. Face-to-face intercourse, when paired with attentive clitoral stimulation, is one of the most powerful ways to build that emotional and physical intimacy. There is something undeniably sacred about being that close. Gazing into each other's eyes, matching breaths, exchanging not just touch, but emotion. The clitoral focus ensures her pleasure remains at the center of the experience, while the eye contact creates a bridge between bodies and hearts. Doggy style, often misunderstood as merely physical, takes on a completely different meaning when combined with a vibrator that targets her clitoris. It becomes an act of devotion. Your hands guiding, supporting, and amplifying her pleasure. The position itself allows for deep penetration, but when you add external stimulation, you create a dual experience that speaks to her body's full range of sensation. It's bold, intimate, and when done with care, incredibly empowering for her. Then there's oral SI3X. A deeply personal and vulnerable act when it's done with presence and generosity. When a man focuses entirely on her pleasure, without rushing, without needing anything in return, it creates more than physical release. It builds trust. It tells her she is worth exploring, worth savouring, worth the time. These aren't just positions, they're invitations. Invitations to be. The second type, she craves. The man who respects her emotional rhythms. Known, touched, and loved in ways that leave a lasting imprint on her soul. Understanding a woman's emotional and psychological cues is like learning a language without words. A language that speaks through tone, touch, and timing. Attraction in women is rarely loud or obvious. It reveals itself in the softness of her voice, the way her eyes linger, or how her body naturally moves closer to yours without saying a thing. During intimacy, if she wraps her legs around you, it's not just about physical closeness, it's a deep emotional signal. It means she wants to hold you, pull you in, and stay connected. That gesture is far more than desire. It's a declaration of trust, craving, and emotional intimacy all at once. After she reaches orgasm, a woman's body shifts into a state of heightened sensitivity. What once felt pleasurable may now feel overwhelming. Her clitoris, the epicenter of her pleasure, needs time to rest and recover. It could take 5 minutes, or it might take an hour, but what matters more than the time is how you respond. A man who is gentle, patient, and observant in these moments becomes someone she can fully let go with. These are the moments that build a lasting sense of emotional safety. And let's not forget something seemingly small yet immensely telling. Kissing a bad kisser can ruin everything. Why? Because a kiss is often the first clue to how a man will handle her body, her needs, and her heart. It's an early glimpse into his rhythm, attentiveness, and emotional intelligence. And that's what she truly craves. Not just a man who looks strong, but one who is confident enough to be present, calm enough to listen, and wise enough to understand what her silences are saying. That's the kind of man who lingers in her memory long after the night has ended. Intimacy should be a place of trust, exploration, and emotional safety. Not danger or fear. Yet too often, important boundaries are crossed, not out of malice but out of misunderstanding. It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment, especially when so much of what we see in media glamorizes rough or dominant behaviors. But here's the truth that too few men. How to create deep trust. Through timing, patience, and presence. Here, over 600 people in the United States are rushed to the emergency room each year due to strangulation-related incidents during sixth. That's not passionate. It's reckless. Passion without communication is a recipe for harm. Every act, no matter how exciting it may seem, must be rooted in mutual consent and emotional awareness. Because when a woman feels unsafe, she doesn't just shut down. Physically, she disconnects emotionally. And when that happens, the connection you've worked so hard to build can unravel in a moment. It's also important to understand what many women silently endure but rarely voice. Around 95% of women report that they dislike having their head or hair grabbed during oral SIPIs. This isn't about being overly sensitive. It's about the feeling of being overpowered in a moment that should be completely about her pleasure. She wants to feel free to receive, not forced into it. What creates lasting attraction isn't aggressive dominance. It's strength paired with care, desire matched with respect. And while fantasies about threesomes may seem exciting, introducing that dynamic into a romantic relationship is a risk many regret. Jealousy, insecurity, and emotional fallout can surface quickly, even when intentions are pure. If ever explored, doubt should be done outside of a committed partnership with boundaries clearly agreed upon. At the heart of all of this is a simple truth. When a woman feels safe, she opens fully. That safety is your power. It's what makes you unforgettable. When it comes to female pleasure, many men still carry outdated beliefs, thinking that if a woman uses a vibrator, it must mean something is missing in the relationship. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, around 20% of women use SIXTH toys regularly, not out of dissatisfaction, but out of self-awareness and independence. These tools aren't replacements for connection. They are enhancements of it. A woman who understands her body, who knows what brings her pleasure, is far more likely to share that knowledge with the third type. She craves the confident, intentional leader partner, leading to more fulfilling intimacy for both. It's not about replacing a man. It's about a woman reclaiming the right to experience her own pleasure without guilt or restriction. The myth that vibrators create dependency is just that, a myth. In fact, regular use has been shown to boost libido, increase sensitivity, and help women achieve orgasm more consistently. Think of it not as competition, but as a guide. It teaches her what she likes and gives you as her partner insight into how to touch her in ways that matter. It's not about mechanics. It's about connection learning and mutual exploration. And let's not forget the incredible benefits of a woman's orgasm beyond pleasure. During climax, her heart rate can soar to 180 beats per minute, releasing a wave of endorphins that flood her body with natural pain relief and emotional release. Headaches, cramps, even stress melt away in those moments. Her pleasure is not just physical, it's a healing, empowering experience. And the man who supports and encourages that kind of release becomes not only her lover, but her sanctuary. That's the role you can step into if you're open, if you're willing, and if you understand the deep beauty of her pleasure. There's something undeniably attractive about a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to say it. Not with arrogance, and not with entitlement, but with calm, grounded confidence. That's where the simple yet powerful phrase "I want" comes in. It's more than just words. It's a signal of clarity, direction, and emotional maturity. 3 qualities that women find incredibly magnetic, especially as they grow wiser in love. When a man says "I want" with sincerity, he becomes a leader in the moment, offering presence rather than passivity. In a world where so many people hesitate, defer, or avoid stating their feelings directly, a man who speaks from his truth stands out in the most powerful way. It's not about controlling the outcome or demanding your way. It's about expressing your desires with intention. For example, saying, "I want to take you to dinner this Friday," carries a different energy than "we could go out sometime if you want." The first is an invitation. The second is indecision. When you say, "I want to get to know you better," you're telling her that you see her, that you've chosen her, that you're not afraid of your own vulnerability. That confidence paired with emotional respect creates a space where trust and intimacy grow. Many men confuse passivity with politeness, but when you constantly say "whatever you want" or "I don't know," you unintentionally signal a lack of self-direction. Women don't need how to use "I want" to build magnetic attraction. Over 50 perfection, they need presence, and presence begins with owning your feelings and your voice. "I want" is not selfish. It's a gift. It tells her you're willing to show up, and in return, she'll lean in. Because confidence with kindness is the most irresistible combination of all. True intimacy was never meant to be perfect. It's not measured by flawless technique, nor by how many times passion ignites in a week. It's something far more sacred, something that deepens with time, not disappears. As we grow older, the world around us often sends the wrong message. That desire is for the young. That connection fades with wrinkles. That excitement belongs to another chapter. But the truth is, real intimacy begins when we finally let go of performance and lean into presence. It lives in quiet moments, in unspoken understanding, in the gentle touch that says, "I'm still here with you." Intimacy thrives on awareness of yourself, your partner, and the space between you. It asks for patience, not pressure. It welcomes curiosity over assumption. It invites you to listen, not just to words, but to breath, to energy, to longing that doesn't always have language. When two people can meet each other without the masks, without shame, and without needing to prove anything, something beautiful unfolds. That's where closeness lives. That's where passion becomes more than just physical. It becomes emotional. Even spiritual desire doesn't vanish with age. It simply changes its rhythm. What once felt urgent now feels rich. What once was surface becomes layered. And in that evolution lies a rare kind of fulfillment. There's a different kind of fire that comes with experience. Not a blaze that burns fast and fades, but an ember that glows deep and warm and lasts through the night. Intimacy after 50 is not a closing door. It's an opening. To love with more presence, to touch with more intention, and to finally understand that what we crave isn't perfection, but connection that's real, honest, and lasting. In this story, the central character is a man over 50 who begins to rediscover the forgotten art of kissing. Why it still matters. Most natural power to connect with women, not through youth or perfection, but through emotional presence, quiet confidence, and genuine intimacy. Along the way, he learns that women crave men who pay attention to the subtle details. A kiss on the neck, a warm glance, a confident, "I want." He comes to understand that true attraction isn't about grand gestures, but about being the kind of man who makes a woman feel safe, seen, and desired. He embraces new ways of closeness using touch communication and shared vulnerability. He realizes that sixth isn't just physical. It's a gateway to emotional intimacy, healing, and trust. By learning to listen to her body language, respect her boundaries, and lead with clarity, he becomes unforgettable. What women secretly think about vibrators, toys, and threesomes. Not because he tries to be someone else, but because he finally becomes himself. Don't chase perfection. Chase connection. Women want real presence, not pretense. Speak from the heart. Listen with your full attention and honor her needs with care. It's never too late to learn to love more deeply or to reignite intimacy. Age doesn't take desire away, it teaches you how to make it last.